Donc lorsque je flingue, c'est toute ma putain de nation qui flingue avec toi. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
Welcome back, everyone. Just put it with 3 rounds. Coach Terry, Jab University. You know, like I said, I kind of caught me by surprise. I thought you were going to be coming in a little late, but you're here.
I hopped off the call. I got bored.
Hey, it happens. It happens. Did you? I know we were on Thursday. Do you happen to see Abdullah Mason do his thing?
Man, meanest overhead. He's exceptionally strong.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm extremely
I
excited
thought
to see
Keo
that.
lost as well. So
Yeah. I don't know, man. I kind of tuned out after a little bit. I'm like, you know how you called it out. You said, it depends on which tail we're gonna
yeah,
get.
you got to fight a big name for him to get up for fights.
Yeah. Is that good or bad? I mean, I don't know, but
Well, as long as you win the big ones, I guess.
yeah. And then now we have announcement. We have Ryan Garcia and David Haney gonna go at it.
$70 million in the last 2 fights. In 2 fights, I don't think Ryan Garcia's had a chance in hell of winning. But he's making money, man.
Hey, making money, can't knock him for that. And he was in the amateur circuit, so he was doing his thing there. So we'll see what happens. That's coming up. It's a big proud. No, there's a lot of big bouts, but that one's probably one that a lot of people are gonna get into. So I was about to go. We're gonna go to California, but Champ kind of signed out for a little bit. I'm not sure.
Man,
I'm
Wi-Fi problems.
man, I'm telling you. So what's happening in the collegiate circuit?
Well, so we've been traveling the last 2 weeks, and then I'm gone again this week. So last weekend we were in Seattle for the Washington Athletic Club show, and then this last week team went 2 different places. Coach Baldy took a group to Reno. They went 3-2. I took a group to Columbus. We went 8-4, and then we got University of Santa Clara coming up this week, and then NCBA is just the board of directors is suspended, but hopefully we can keep it running. It's interesting.
And then you guys have the wing open. Is that like the Nationals kind of?
No, the wing open is so we have the wing open, and Army and Navy have what they call the brigade open.
Okay.
And so that's who the winners of that is who we take to the regional and national thing. But as far as the school's concerned, the wing open is the because it happens on campus. All your friends get to come out. Your parents typically fly out. They bring in the alumni and stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right. It seems like we got the champ back on. We're going to California today. Let's see. Hey, champ, how we doing?
What up? Good.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us for a little bit. I know it's a little earlier out there in the West Coast, but again, I do appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
No worries.
First thing is just go ahead and say your name, the city and state, and the name of the gym that you train at.
I'm Adrian Herrera. I live in San Jacinto, California. I train with Oscar Santana.
Oscar Santana, all right. And first question I ask everybody is, how do you get involved? How do you get started with boxing?
So it started when my sister had a friend that did boxing, and then she told us about it, so we got interested, and that's how we got into it.
Okay, so prior to boxing, were you a boxing fan?
No, but I watched like Canelo versus Gigi for like the first time because I started boxing when I was 8, so I started a little bit late.
If 8 is late, well then
I was gonna say 8 is not
you're
late.
right on time.
and how many bouts do you have so far?
I think I have around 80.
80 bouts. Okay. What for anybody that hasn't seen you just yet, because you just got into the junior division, so
Yeah.
What kind of boxer? What kind of boxer are you? How would you describe your style when you're in there competing?
I'm more of a technical fighter. I like staying on the outside, countering.
Okay. Any noticeable difference from the intermediate to the junior division?
No, not really. It's basically all the same kids.
Y'all just moved up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 80 plus bouts. I mean, that's quite a bit, especially for being essentially just going into the junior division. But out of those 80 plus bouts, you got multiple national championships, all that stuff. Does a bout stand out to you? Was there just one that kind of sticks in your mind? Maybe a memorable win or one that you learned a lot from?
All my fights, I learned everything. I learned a lot from every single fight. Every single one of my fights.
All right. What San Jacinto? That's like San Bernardino, Fontana area.
Yeah, it's in the Riverside County.
Riverside County. So what's the boxing scene like that? Was it Colton, Redlands, Moreno Valley?
Yeah.
What's the boxing scene like there? Is it pretty active?
Yeah, but sometimes we have to travel at LA to get some good sparring.
Okay. And how often are you competing locally, or are you just pretty much on, since you have 80 fights, just competing nationally for the most part?
Yeah, I pretty much just go to nationals.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. And you travel. You go to a lot of nationals. I mean, you had a great year yesterday or last year.
Yeah.
You went to nationals just a couple weeks ago in Lafayette. More than a couple weeks now. But
Yeah.
at JOs, you were at the JOs. You were the national qualifier. You've been to South California state champion. You compete everywhere. Do you have a favorite tournament that you like to that you get up a little bit more to? Like we were talking about Teofimo, like he's like you have to have the right opponent to get up. Is there a tournament that you look forward to competing in?
Yeah, it's the junior. I like doing junior Olympics and silver gloves.
And why is that?
Whenever you win junior Olympics, you go on this podium, and then for silver gloves, it's an advancing tournament. So you gotta fight your way to get to the nationals.
Hey, and you guys are the show at it's all about you guys. I like the JOs, the parade of athletes. You get to see all the people from different places. They really
Yeah,
do give you the podium thing and the presentation at the end. Like, man, and
Yeah.
Silver Gloves is, to me, is like Golden Gloves, still one of the old school tournaments. You got to
Yeah.
win at home before you get to go to the big stage.
Which
So
is,
yeah,
I
is
like
great.
that.
Yeah.
Are you, oh, say for something like Silver Gloves, are you actually getting competition in the Southern California area before you go?
yeah. I had to fight. I had to fight around 6 times to go to nationals.
That's good work. Yeah, that's good work.
Right. And I think a lot of these tournaments you end up competing quite a bit. 3-4 times maybe. The brackets are typically kind of deep, and some of the names that you start seeing in your weight division are great names. One of them that always jumps out is Austin Leonidas Garcia. He's always seems to be around there. Uh, have you had an opponent that stands out? Maybe a tricky opponent that you were kind of maybe surprised you and you had to kind of figure them out during the fight? Any opponent that stood out to you?
Well, you gotta figure out all your opponents, but there's this one, Religio Velos. Yeah, he's a great fighter.
Definitely great fight.
Okay.
California too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about boxing?
Competing, sparring, and hitting mitts, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff, all the stuff that everybody wants to do.
Yeah.
And let's go on the other side. What's the thing that you can't stand, or you rather just not do?
Cut weight.
Hey,
Hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way about that one.
Yeah.
that's for real though. Go ahead.
And so when you got into boxing, you said you watched Canelo Triple G. Were you like in tune or know anything about amateur boxing? Because it's almost like two different sports sometimes.
No, I just watched the fight, and then no, I started watching. I watched the Triple G and Canelo fight, Clueless, but I knew, I knew what they're fighting for, and it was a really good fight.
Okay, and then so when you got into amateur boxing, that's when you kind of started watching
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Okay,
I started watching more fights.
and so who are you watching at at the amateur level when you go to these national tournaments, or are you just going focused on you?
Focused on me and watching my opponents.
Okay. Oh, so you sit down, you actually watch the people you're in your brackets you're going to
Yeah.
compete against.
Okay.
Any
So
surprises?
yeah.
No, because I already know the day prior, and we practice on that.
Okay, cool.
So you coach are kind of game planning, planning. You know what to do or things that you've seen and things like that. Is that you guys strategizing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then when you do that, you look at an opponent, you kind of feel okay, this is what I could do, with or try to do to him. And when you go through the first round and maybe things are not, there's a little bit of surprise, things don't go your way. What's that conversation in between rounds to make sure that you're doing the right things to be able to adjust, come the next round?
Because I switch. Like if I'm doing bad lefty, I'll go righty. But if I'm doing bad righty, I'll go lefty, and figure out from then.
I don't think you lose too many rounds. I don't remember you losing too many rounds on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
scorecards. Yeah, a lot of 5-0s and 4-1s.
yeah, yeah.
So you don't have that many of those conversations in the corner. So,
No.
so that's an interesting thing you mentioned, switching. So a lot of people are against it. There's some very exceptional talents out there that can do it. We watched you. You do it pretty like almost seamlessly. You can't really tell the difference
Yeah.
in your southpaw versus your righty stance. Like, did you just start at one, or they were just teaching you how to switch from the beginning?
Well, I didn't know I was switching. Like when I was young, we didn't know what switching was. But then when my mom was looking back at our old videos, I'll switch to lefty, and I just started focusing on lefty more after I saw that.
Okay, so you just was doing it anyway.
Yeah.
You weren't getting yelled at?
No.
Oh, I switched one time and I thought I was gonna get disowned.
Nah, but see that goes to just natural ability, being able to feel comfortable in both, which is will eventually be to your benefit, right? You'll be able to kind of decipher that and use it to your advantage, depending on
Yeah.
how that works. So, uh, so you're how old? 14?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got school and everything you gotta kind of take care of and deal with. Do you go to a public school or homeschool or what's your system or setup?
Well, I used to do a homeschool, but and then they put me in for public school this year.
Okay. Oh, so tell me about that. That's got to be a little different. You got schoolwork and it takes up the majority of your day. Are you getting some are you running in the morning? Like what's how are you balancing all that?
Oh, usually I run after I do CrossFit after school.
Okay.
So
Okay, and then do you go to the gym right afterwards? Like what do you
yeah,
how's your typical day?
CrossFit, I do CrossFit, then I run, and then a little break, and then I go to the boxing gym.
Man, you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You do a lot. That's and so you replace the whole strength and conditioning concept with that CrossFit just covers it all for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And are they got you in there like just pumping iron and stuff? You got little muscles on you. I see you.
Thanks.
But they got you in there like lifting weights and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you so boxing wise, strength and conditioning is not new, but the idea of a strength and conditioning coach is new. And there's some fighters that have I know with Guerrero, he did it. He did CrossFit as his strength and conditioning. How do you feel CrossFit benefits you as a boxer?
It helped me gain more power, and I definitely feel stronger after doing CrossFit. For I think I'm about to be 1 year on CrossFit.
Okay, so it to you it's relatively new as part of
Yeah,
your.
but I
Okay,
love it.
okay.
All right, there you go. Real quick, 3 rounds live, number 175. We're talking to Adrian Herrera, San Jacinto, California. You currently ranked number one at 90 pounds junior division. And, just kind of going back and looking up some stats on you, you've been ranked, it seems like almost since you've been competing.
Yeah.
Just take me back when, you realized, you saw the rankings, you saw your name there, like, how was that feeling? And I'm assuming it kind of motivated you to keep working even harder.
Yeah, it motivated me to keep pushing it, and then um when I first saw my first time on the rankings, I got so excited, and I knew I'll get more ranking spots when I grow older.
Okay, so you a school age kid. What you a freshman, eighth grader?
Freshman.
Freshman, right? So they got school sports out there. Football, they get the Letterman's jacket. Basketball, track and
Yeah.
field, wrestling, all that stuff. You compete at a really high level, probably at a level higher than everybody at your school in a
Mhm.
sport, but it's not a school sport, right?
Yeah.
Do people know you box? And two, is the school showing you the love that you deserve?
The school really doesn't know. Like the only people that know around my school is probably like my friends and my teachers because I have to tell them I'm going to nationals.
Okay. Boxers need to be more in the pros. They get it. They just talk trash and braggadocious. We know
Yeah.
what you do. Y'all amateurs, y'all gotta let these people know. Like y'all probably bigger studs than the football players, man.
Hey, I support that 100%. And how are the teachers with, you're gonna miss a week of school, and are they are they understanding, or they give you a little bit of trouble with that?
Nah, they're understanding. It's just that for because I have like a computer class, so I gotta make up for that. But that's just about it.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
and so are they giving you your homework to take to the tournaments, or are they just letting you catch up when you get back?
They give me a little bit, and then I just catch up when I get back.
Are you really doing it at the tournament, or are you focused?
I'm focused, but the day I get back from the tournament, I gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta rush and pile it all in.
Yeah.
Most definitely, most definitely. You're just going into the junior division, but I'm sure you've come across where you're competing. You think you felt great, you did, you think you did great, but then the decision is just completely leaves you scratching your head. Have you had an instance where the decision went the other way when you didn't really know why, and how did you take it? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I had a few incidents, but I just it was a close fight, so it could have gone either way. But I feel like I pushed it out more, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So you got into boxing at 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
The moment you started boxing, did you think you were going to be the number one guy in your weight class at 14? Did that cross your mind, or you was just I'm just out here hitting kids?
No, I really just started boxing for a hobby, but then my dad said, my dad said if you love it, you could keep going, and then I eventually got here.
Okay, that's
There you
cool.
go. There you go. So in the beginning, it was more just like you said, more of a hobby, just kind of getting into the sport and seeing kind of what you do with it. How have your goals changed now? I mean, you've definitely you've been at that podium. You got them belts. You're collecting these rewards when you go to these tournaments. Like, have your goals kind of switched a little bit? Are you a little bit more serious? Like, what are you hoping to do?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's got a lot more serious. I'm trying to go pro, but I'm trying to do the Olympics, but still not sure about the Olympics though, because the politics and all that stuff.
Uh, it was
Yeah,
funny because I mentioned the Pluto right before he started. Like USA Boxing has become a strangely political organization,
yeah.
and um, the pros, right? You would probably be right around 2028, the LA Olympics. You're
Yeah.
not far from LA. That would be a big thing for you. Like, when did you start noticing like maybe the Olympics isn't it? This politics are weird. Like, when did you start noticing that yourself?
During the Olympic trials.
Mm.
Yeah.
There you go. What kind of things did you notice through that whole process, or the whole tournament?
That it was the Olympic trials, but they already had somebody selected for the team, and the other guy didn't get a shot.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, can I? We've been screaming it from the mountaintops, and but what is interesting is, I mean, you and the boxers in your age group that are essentially the next kind of crop of talented boxers see this. You
Yeah,
definitely see this, and you know what's happening, and when they try to brush it off like it's not, whatever. No, people understand, that things are happening, and if they're not going to get a fair shake, maybe you should try to prepare yourself for those green belts instead. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's what it seems like. But um, let's bring it back to when you're about to compete. Say you're a couple bouts out, right? You're getting your hands wrapped. You're about ready to get into the ring. Like, how are you getting ready to compete? Just walk us through that.
I'm usually calm. I see I watch a little some fights to get warmed up and get my head straight before I fight.
Okay.
All
What
right.
kind of music are you listening? Are you listening to music? Like what's going on?
Yeah, listen to rap.
Okay. Give
What
us a
rappers
couple
you
artists. We
listening
might know
to?
some.
Whatever's on my playlist. I don't really. I just hear a good song and I just add it to my playlist.
Okay,
Okay.
eclectic. That's
Yeah.
There
very
you go.
good. And so during this warm up process, so uh, I don't know if a lot of people notice, but the new coaching system, they're teaching these new uh, Billy Walsh warm ups, right? And a lot of them use it. Some of the stuff is good, I think. Are you doing that where you're doing the icky shuffle and the twisting and turning, or are you just doing a traditional boxing warm up where you stretch, shadow box, and then hit the mitts?
Yeah, just traditional. Just hit the bag. No, hit the mitts and hit the and shadow box.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to 2023. You started off the year with the USA Boxing tournaments at the national qualifier out there in Detroit,
Yeah.
Michigan. You ended up competing 3 times. You were still competing at the intermediate 80 pounds, I believe that it's where you were at. Uh, just walk us through that. Is one of the things that we do see is maybe the first bout. It's it's kind of like to get the nerves out or just get the rust off a little bit. Like walk us through those bouts. How did you feel after each bout, and at the end you ended up coming out on top.
On the first day, on the first day of fight, I gotta get used to like the atmosphere in the ring. So I'm kind of rusty the first day. So I gotta adjust and get ready for the second day.
All right. So uh, you mentioned it, and I think it happens more so with you than some of the other kids because you're one of the smaller. You're on the smaller side of things. But my
Yeah.
son competed against somebody in 2018. It's 2023, 24. He competed against them again. Like, are like you're seeing these guys tournament after tournament, year after year. Like, are you guys like building friendships, or is it just business when you see them?
I'm friends with a couple of them, but I'm not. I usually don't talk to like if I know them, I'll talk to them. But if I don't know them, I'll just say what's up or something.
This is you guys have a unique. You do a sport that's unique. It's a gladiator sport. It's not a big team sport, and so if anybody has something in common with you, it's that guy on the other side of the ring. So I sometimes like there's people build lifelong friendships out of somebody that they absolutely tried to beat the dust off of. It's always funny to me.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Now, if we, if anybody were to go to your social media feed like Instagram or whatnot, and you they'll find you doing mitts with Robert Garcia Jr. or you're at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Like, seems like you're around pros and that kind of pro kind of style. Just tell us a little bit about that. Does it when you're out in that kind of scenery with where boxers are, where you want to be sometime? Like, how does that make you feel? You just kind of get more hungry when you're out there and going through all those experiences.
Yeah, it really got me more motivated seeing the pros train and spar. So that will kept me gave me an extra boost.
Do they pull you to the side and just after they see you kind of doing mitts or doing some sparring, do they kind of tell you some pointers or whatnot? Because do you know that you're the next generation? Are they try to share some of that knowledge?
No, I haven't really. I haven't trained with at RGBA since last February, but I'm planning on returning after school's over for the summer.
Oh, so you did it like a summer camp thing on your own. You're not a regular member of going to RGBA.
Oh no, I'm a regular, but it's just that school and we live like 45 away from RGBA, so my mom doesn't have time to be going driving back and forth because we
Oh,
have.
okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when you're like training or sparring in the gym, everybody has like bad days. Like some I've had really bad ones. A lot of kids I train have had days. that like what's wrong with this kid? You know what I mean? He's talented, but
Yeah.
yeah, like when you have those days, like what are you telling yourself to like, hey man, how do you get it back tomorrow? Like, or you want to come next week, or is that how you know it's time to take a little break?
No, I usually rest card. My mom records the sparring and she just tells me what I have to work on, and then when I work on it, I do it in sparring and I do better.
Okay, so it's like, hey, it's easy to snap back for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It seems it seems like you know that this is a process, right?
Yeah.
You have to go through the tournaments. You have to go, all the sparring. You have to go through those, everything that you might not want to do, uh, and learning how to lose, per se, is something that comes with it as well, right? and
Yeah.
and and when you go to these tournaments, and not like you've had that much experience, like it seems like you're kind of winning everything, but when you don't, you're training hard to get to a tournament, and then and you don't get that win, right? You get a setback. uh how do you deal with those? How do you just take them in, and make sure that you're getting the right stuff from it, and getting ready for the next tournament?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually when I lose, I just feel sad, but I know I'm gonna come back stronger.
How's those conversations with coach, or your parents, like your dad or something? Like, what are those conversations like after a tough loss?
They're usually very supportive, but they just tell me what I did wrong in the fight, and then we'll work on it right when we get back to the gym.
Okay. So boxing is one of those sports that's kind of rough on the body. It's repeated, I mean, you do everything over and over again, your knuckles, your legs, your head, shoulders, and recovery is important. You guys got so much stuff now that we didn't have back in the day. We had maybe Epsom salt and an ice bath, like, but now you guys got the Theragun, you got the inflatable leg pants thing, you got, the cryo chamber, what I mean? Like, are you using recovery in between your fights to keep your body going? And if so, what type of recovery are you using?
Just usually the Epsom salt bath.
Oh yeah, that's the best one, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like the cold tub.
I haven't tried
Yeah.
the cold, but I
It
better.
sucks.
Oh man, and I seen it's like a trend. Everybody's starting to do that. I'm sure it works, but when you go into the ice cold, I don't know, man. I don't know about
Yeah.
that. One thing, like we mentioned, you've gone to a lot of tournaments here at in the U.S., but you also competed outside of the U.S. I think you competed in Mexico at the Guerra en la Frontera or something. Maybe some.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience going to a different country. Like, were the styles different? Like, just tell us about your experience out there.
Yeah. The styles are different. Yeah, it's more of a pressure style out there.
And how did you do, and how did you make those adjustments? You have a person. You said you were naturally a counter. Did it kind of play into your style?
Yeah, the first day I was kind of rusty because I didn't know what to expect. But then on the last day, I did good and knew what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it just seems like pressure sits right in your wheelhouse. Come at
Yeah,
me and
that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm saying.
tag you. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And so, who's your favorite fighter?
Bam Rodriguez.
Hey,
Hey, that
that's
dude's
good.
cold. He gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I
Oh
guarantee you.
man.
Like, what is it about Bam that you like? I can tell you all the things I like about Bam, but like,
His
what is it that you like?
his footwork and his angles.
He's got some sick ones. The one he hit Quadras with the uppercut, man,
Yeah.
that's beautiful, man. That thing's beautiful.
Most definitely, and that's a great boxer to look, at. And I think it really does complement what your kind of style. I think it. Yeah, I can only imagine a few years developing that would be great. Now, looking just ahead a little bit, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I noticed that you are you going to get hand surgery? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So
So
tell us a little bit about that, and when is that going down? And yeah, just let us know.
I'm getting hand surgery for my fingers because they were webbed up, and then they cut it. But
Oh,
now they're gonna fix it more. So I'm gonna get it next week.
okay. So it's nothing really that is going to hurt your punching or anything like that. It's more about just kind of okay.
Just fix my hands. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay. So, and how long that's supposed to keep you away?
I'm still gonna be training, but just with my left hand. Focus on my left hand.
Oh, so you're not going to Albuquerque this year?
No, I'm gonna take the year off until December and then compete in December.
Oh wow,
Oh, until
man!
nationals. Okay.
You're such a small dude. Like when you box and you cut weight and stuff. Like you think you're gonna grow a lot between now and December?
Yeah, I'm at least trying to fight like at 101, 106.
Oh, for the national team spots now at junior,
Yeah,
right? That's cool. And what do you think about that? Like, I know one year they did have the juniors travel, and they were talking about doing it this year. Like, most countries don't have a junior team. That's why there's not a lot of competitions for them. Uh, One, what made you want to go on the international scene, and two, have you watched enough international boxing to have a good assessment of what's going to be going on?
yeah. I want to go on the international team just to go around the world and fight different styles and all that stuff.
Yeah, are you watching like the world champion Daiba stuff, the world championships and stuff?
No,
Have you
I
you
haven't
haven't
got.
seen it? Wait till you watch it. It's weird. The style's different. Like
Yeah,
that'd be something for you to watch because somebody that loves to pick out styles and adjust. It's a new thing. It's a real new thing. Yeah, they fight long.
yeah. I heard that like they like being on their toes.
Yeah, they bounce a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely it'll be to your benefit to start looking at that and see how they adapt, because apparently USA Boxing wants to be international style, and you got to learn how to be on your toes all the time. So so you're essentially taking the year off to make sure everything heals right, make sure it's good to go, and then make sure that you're ready for the end of the years. But you're going to be sparring, you're not going to be competing. What are you going to do outside of like what do you do when you're not boxing or you're not training? It seems like you might have some free time coming up. Like what do you do?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try to hang out with my friends more and do like a little bit of soccer.
Oh, okay. Cardio.
Who's your favorite soccer team?
Real Madrid.
Okay.
Real Madrid. Okay.
All right. And like, did you like play competitive soccer before, or is this going to be your first go at it?
I don't think I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna do it like as a hobby.
Oh, okay. Just hanging out and playing with the homies.
But
Yeah.
I did play a season of soccer. When
And,
I was
and how was that different from like your boxing, being in a team atmosphere? I guess.
um it was boxing's a 1-man sport and soccer is a 12-man team.
Which one you prefer?
If I were to say like in like supportive, it's probably soccer.
Okay. It's kind of lonely in the ring, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely. Um, you said your coach's name was what? I'm sorry, I didn't write him down.
Santana.
Say that again.
Oscar Santana.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. The boxer coach relationship is critical, right? You got to be able to really uh, you know, follow, trust the process, right? And he's the one that's kind of guiding you. So tell me a little bit about that relationship, and how you guys are able to produce what you guys are producing, which is a lot of wins at the national level.
Yeah, he's a pro, so he understands me a lot. He was a pro, and he understands me a lot about technique and movement and throwing.
Okay. And being being around, you've been around quite a few pros. Your coaches are pro. Like,
Yeah.
are they explaining to you the subtle differences between the pros and the amateurs, or are they just showing you this style and this is what we're going to carry on to the pros?
Usually both. I heard like both of them. Yeah, carrying it on and what to do.
Okay, and what are the differences that they do point out to you between the professional game and the amateurs?
That you have a lot more time to think during rounds because it's longer rounds and longer amount of rounds you're gonna do.
Okay.
All right. So you said you picked up this sport like as a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And just the sport in general kind of has like a bad rep, right? It has bad name because they think kids are getting hit, this and that. And if you came across some friends from school or somebody that might want to consider doing boxing, like what would you tell them? How would you what would you tell them about the sport? What to expect, and maybe encourage them to give it a try.
What to expect to get hit, and
Yeah, that's the
That's
truth.
funny. Hey, you gonna get hit, bro. This is what
yeah,
happens.
and to train, work hard, and focus in the gym.
Okay. So, what has the sport of boxing taught Adrian about Adrian?
Um, that I have a lot of potential, and uh, I don't know. I don't really know right now.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but you
that's
do have a lot of potential. Like, ain't no denying that.
yeah, that's a great answer because, I mean, boxers always say, look at my resume. I mean, you 80 plus bouts. You're winning more often, way more often than that. I mean, against tough competition. That's why I get excited when you're in the junior division. So we'll get this, you're probably competing more often during these tournaments. When you go to youth, even more so. And then the weight class that you're gonna kind of eventually be in is always going to be a very competitive weight class. We were talking about, Olympic trials elite male 112 was
It's
probably one of the hottest
insane.
divisions,
Yeah,
and so that talent is and you've seen it, right? You've been across the ring from
yeah.
some of this talent, and as you get older, the competition and the talent you guys are like so neck and neck. What do you think is going to take for you to start separating yourself from your competition to make it easier for the judges to say, okay, you know what, Adrian won this one?
I gotta be more on my feet, more throwing more punches, hitting and moving, and all that.
Okay, you got a favorite punch that you land?
The jab.
Best
There
punch in the
you,
sport.
there you go. That's the right answer right there.
And what is it about your jab that makes you enjoy it so much?
Keeping my distance.
Okay, so you like to fight with a lot of vision. You like to be able to see a lot more stuff hanging out on the outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
There you go. There you go. And we know that California is deep with talent, right? Just boxing talent all over. And you said you like to be more kind of a counter puncher. It, is that the norm? Though I think California's team tends to be a little bit more pressure
yeah,
oriented. And does the competition when you do fight in state in California, do you seem you are able to take advantage because you're kind of seeing what they're doing, and they tend to do the same thing as far as trying to rush you in.
yeah.
And do you think that it's one of those things that you'll just keep perfecting as you get older, because people are going to start saying, okay, you know what, I shouldn't rush into Adrian. I should kind of kind of faint in and then do something else. Like you're starting to see them adjusting to you.
Then I switch it up.
Oh man, my man. I knew he had it in him. I knew he had it in him.
There you go.
And so you said something about like you just started focusing on lefty once you discovered you were switching. So are you not a natural lefty?
No, I'm not a natural red lefty.
Oh man, so you're a cheater. No, just kidding. Uh so so because who else said it? I think it was Lomachenko said his dad switched him to be a southpaw just so he can think different.
Yeah.
Have you are you is your thought process different in one stance than it is versus the other?
Yeah. I started focusing on lefty, and now I gotta get used to righty now.
You've been doing it so much that now you have to kind of get adjusted to that. Um, one of the aspects, and you're obviously kind of, you're learning, you're going through your boxing journey. One of the aspects that's, uh, you know, well, you hear the term, that this is a mental game more than anything else, right? You
Yeah.
get, you do the drills, learn all that stuff, all the techniques, but you kind of really got to be in the right state of mind. How do you get mentally ready to go? Are you one of those that like flips the switch, or are you you have to slowly progress to be able to say, okay, bell rings, I'm ready to go? Are you just kind of one of those that just able to turn it up and get going?
Yeah, I could easily just turn it up.
Okay.
Okay, so you said you want to turn pro. So everybody we know that is a promoter, Bob Arum, uh, Lou DiBella, Eddie Hearn, all these guys, Matchroom, Don King, if he were to reverse 20 years, they're all sitting in the room at his table, and you've got to tell them why they should sign Adrian Herrera. Let them know.
I'm different. I have a good style. I fight great. I have the amateur. I have the pro. I have the pro style already at a young age, and that's why.
You're a bad man.
Hey, he's different, right? I like how you started from that right away. Let them know that I'm not just like anybody else, and that's why you should do that. Now you have time to really get a nice resume. You, like I said, you already have 80 bouts, and you just started the junior division. It's unbelievable. I think the norm is going to be at least close to 200 bouts by the time you're done with the amateurs. I think that's kind of how we're going, and you're definitely right in the thick of things. Um, but we mentioned how this sport is so unique. It's not part of the school system, but it's a sport that demands so much of you, um, and your family, right? You were talking about your mom, having to travel to get you to the gym and do all this stuff. I'm sure, parents are right there when you're competing. Like, when you get that win, you get that national, you turn around, you see your dad, your mom there. How does it feel just sharing this journey along with them?
I make my parents proud. They're proud of me, and I make my whole family proud.
Okay. Are you the only boxer in the family?
No, I have two more brothers.
And they're older, younger?
I'm the oldest, so yeah, the
You're
youngest.
the oldest, right? And did they start boxing because of watching you?
One's a year younger than me, but we started boxing at the same time. But then my little brother, he
Yeah.
started watching us and getting into it more.
All
Cause
right. So
he
you
used
are.
to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm fine. I finished.
All right. Yeah. So like you kind of sit in this, I guess, big brother but slash role model like space, right? Um, does it? I don't want to say add pressure, but like, do you feel an obligation? Like, hey man, I gotta go hard because they watching me too. Like, the 100% is the bare minimum.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
feel
like,
like under 100%.
and with that, with just your little brothers, but like, are you noticing being only 14 and but you got 80 fights? Uh, other like youngsters kind of like looking at you like, hey, I kind of want to be like that guy right there.
Yeah,
How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel proud of myself because I know I'm doing something right.
That's right. That's right. And you touched on it, Coach. It's kind of a strange kind of feeling because you're only like 13, 14, 15 years old. You got 80, 90 plus bouts or whatever. You kind of like already a vet. You're a veteran of the sport per
Yeah,
se, but you're literally just getting started.
Yeah, he's like a
It,
young old guy.
right. It's kind of strange. You know what I mean? So and you're the oldest, so I'm sure the other two are ganging up on you and just kind of going to town and sparring. Probably two against one or something. But the just having training alongside with him, does it? Do you guys keep it light? You guys, because this is a sport that demands a lot from you, but you gotta have fun with it too. You guys kind of try to keep it light when you guys are doing your thing.
Um, usually Andrew, I go hard with him, but with the other one, my mom makes me work with him.
Okay.
Moms.
But when she's not looking, right, it's a whole different story. So,
He shot to the liver.
liver shots, you said. That's it. That's it.
All
Right
right,
on.
so being this young old guy and in the game, um, like watching yourself progress through the sport, are you, I guess, not, I would say, dropping off? Are you noticing that there's some things you do now that you didn't do before, or there's some things you did before that you no longer do? Like you just kind of drop off certain skills as you get older or the game changes for you?
Yeah, I have to adjust to the I have to adjust throughout.
Yeah. And then those back in the Pee Wee Bantam days, uh, did you feel like, because my son said it and I've had a bunch of fighters say it's too fast, like it's not
Yeah,
enough time, like it's never running. Yeah,
It's that's what it is all the time. You're running a Pee Wee, all you're seeing is just little hands just going like this, man, just punching and which is a little difficult for a boxer, especially younger, that wants to be more, technical or counter punch it. There's just none of, the pace is just too quick
yeah,
to be able to.
definitely too.
Did you have, when you were going earlier on, and you were kind of thinking that counterpunching is probably kind of what you like? Did you find it difficult to adjust to all these boxers that were just rushing at you?
Yeah, in the beginning I found it difficult, but then I started adjusting, seeing what I have to do, and I figured them out.
There you
okay.
go.
So, when do you guys go to 2 minutes? Intermediate, or is that still a minute and a half?
Yeah, intermediate.
Intermediate. So that jump from bantam to intermediate with that extra 30 seconds, uh, is it a noticeable change in pace? Did you feel like, oh, I can relax a little bit more and actually box?
Yeah, but tournaments at intermediate, I kept getting tired, but now I don't.
Okay. And then the other thing is, it seems like not so much internationally, but in the, I guess the JOs in general, in the US, they kind of favor being out on the front foot, going forward, and punches thrown. Not necessarily punches landed, punches thrown, but you're successful when that's not the case of the way you fight. What's making you win, even though you're not with the status quo? We're just rushing out, throwing a million punches. You're sitting back, you're behind your jab, you're using angles, you're stepping around people. And typically that's not getting, especially in the younger divisions, not getting a lot of love, but you're still winning. Like,
Yeah,
why is that?
cause I make it clear I won the round.
Are you landing the good shots, clean shots?
Yeah,
There you go. Man, the confidence already. You can tell. It's like, hey, no, like I make sure that I land more than that I get. So, no, that's great. Real quick, 3 rounds live, number 175. We're talking to Adrian Herrera out of San Francisco, California. He's out of California. Ranked number one at 90 pounds in the junior male division. Not going to see him competing too much this year. Going to take care of some things, but we'll definitely see him at nationals in December, which biggest tournament of the year, right? That's where you get the spots and do all that. So we'll be excited to see him kind of compete and go for the spot over there on Team USA. So as we start kind of collecting our last, our questions, uh, like you say, you're a veteran, but you're still a young guy. Do you see yourself coaching in the future? I mean, you already have two younger siblings that I'm sure at some point, you're working on. You said you worked with one of them or whatever. Do you see yourself being a coach later on?
yeah. I see after I retire from the pros, I see myself coaching my little brother and my younger brother too.
There you
Okay.
go.
Uh, so time for a magic wand question. You can fix anything in this sport for the better, right? As a fan, as a fighter, as a coach, whatever. You have a magic wand, you get to fix it instantly. What are you fixing?
I'm fixing that. I'm fixing that you actually have to land punches instead of throwing air punches.
And that's a good one. That is,
Yes,
yeah.
that is awesome that you said it, because it's we see it a lot,
Yeah,
and especially in some of these advancing tournaments or anything like that, it's difficult to say, oh no, it is what it is, because it's like, no, there was no land. It activity. I don't know. I think there's definitely got to be something. So that's a great point. The judge an actual connections. beyond just activity. And
Yeah, you can't win by shadow boxing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure being a natural kind of counterpuncher, you kind of saw your share of that of maybe getting knots going the other way just because they just kept them punching stuff, so or punching the air, I guess, essentially. So one of the things that I did notice when we were jumping on here, you know, Coach G, Gloria Alvarado, a bunch of others were like, hey, make sure to tune in or check you out here. It seems like a lot of people are already aware of what you're doing, your accomplishment, your potential, like you said. Uh, how does it feel just having, that support people want to see you win?
Yeah, it feels great that a lot of people want to see me win and support me.
To the point, man. To the point.
Yeah.
What you got, Joe?
So, hey, give everybody your shout outs, man. Say everybody that's watching.
I want to thank my family, Oscar Santana, Eli Morales, Pita Garcia, and everybody.
That's what's up, man.
There you go. How can people follow you? Follow your story. Online. Where are you at? Where can they find you?
On my Instagram, AJ Herrera 9.
AJ Herrera 9. Man, I'm telling you, 14 years old, just in the junior division. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if maybe the Olympics is in play. Maybe it's not. But
Yeah.
but I think we're definitely going to see him beyond the amateurs. He's already right there, and that's pretty much all we got. It's exciting to see the young talent getting ready. The thing that strikes me the most is, you're always going to perfect your craft in the gym, but the way that you approach, you're always, thinking about, just trusting the process, essentially, right? Knowing that you're building on something every day. It's not a quick sprint. It's a marathon. So you got to shout out, to your parents for sure for keep you going, and because I'm sure there's a couple times where maybe you don't want to go to the gym, maybe you don't want to put those miles in, but what are those things that keep you focused and motivated to keep going?
My little brother, my little baby brother, that's sick.
Wow.
Oh, how does that motivate you when you're out there? I'm assuming you're coming straight home with the medal, the belt, and making sure that he knows that he's in your thoughts.
Yeah, I see a picture before I fight, and then that motivates me to win.
Awesome. That's great. That's great.
Well,
Hey,
you're doing him proud, man.
Yeah.
most definitely, and it's always tough, being the oldest and kind of just the responsibility of being an older sibling, but uh, you're definitely leading by example, right? You got your brothers along. You said you're going to be coaching later on, and can't
Yeah.
wait to do that. So it seems like we're going to have a little boxing family here, which tends to happen a lot. If you go through the sport, there's always, what are things we mentioned? We see boxers that are in the elite level. You start seeing those last names in bantam and intermediates. It kind of it's a full circle. So. Adrian, I appreciate taking the time to talk to us here for a little bit, get to know you a little bit. I'm sure we'll be in touch as you move along and see what the future has in store for you. The Olympics in LA, I mean, that sounds like a match made in heaven right there. But if it doesn't pan out, then that's not the end game, right? That's just the beginning. So, real quick, I appreciate everybody tuning in to 3 Rounds Live, a collaboration with Jab University. We're gonna have Hayden Hopi, right? I want to say I want to double check that that's his last name, but he's out in California too. We're gonna be talking to him. We're gonna do another kind of like coaches little roundtable. There's a lot of topics, a lot of things to talk about. What's happening over in Colorado Springs, and that's all we got. Again, Adrian, I do appreciate it. Junior male, 90 pounds. Doing his thing. Say you're sitting at a table, and across from your table are going to be all the boxers you're going to see in December. What are you going to tell them? What are you going to do? What are you going to do come nationals in December? What are you going to do to them?
Be ready.
That's all you got to do.
Just be ready, because he's got to be ready. So Man, I love that quiet confidence, and hey, you do you let your hands do the talking, and they're definitely doing that. So,
Yeah.
anything else, Coach?
Nah, man, we good. I gotta eat.
Hey, I'm there with you. So, Adrian, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I appreciate you guys going to the end. If not, if you missed some of it, it's gonna be posted. So, feel free to rewatch it, share it, and do all that. Adrian, we'll see you. We'll keep in touch, and that's it. Everybody,
All right.
have a good night. We'll be back Thursday.
All right, take care, guys.
Take it easy.